Honey Sound Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Bilko Media Network.
"2012. Some say a myth, some say a legend, others say the truth."
They should have held out and done a 2012 episode.
Goddamn Mexican government.
Could you do like an X-ray or something?
Also, given what I know about the Mexican government by living next to Mexico, I'm pretty sure that there's a thing called bribery that would have got you in this thing pretty damn well.
Well, how do you think you got in?
Yep, there we go. He just bribed a cartel. Ah yes, Homer Simpson, Bird, Dick and Balls.
I read a journal article once by a young archaeologist. What was his name? Dr. Jackson. Dr. Daniel Jackson.
He's so obscure, yet I remember his first and last name.
Yes. From an article years ago.
I love how every woman who's a Gould sounds like she had a sex change. She's just on real bad hormone therapy.
Why would they...
Hey, wait a minute! Wait, you guys have a bring people back to life sarcophagus?
Yeah. Why would they
Oh
bring
yeah,
it to
this
the...
could...
Why would they bring it to the gate room?
They don't know what this thing is yet, I think. So this is the first time I think they see a sarcophagus.
No, it was in the movie.
I know this thing.
See?
Yeah, I recognize it too. Thing that was on Ra's ship that brought Share and I back from the dead.
Which really doesn't make too much sense within the context of the Stargate universe, because the setup of the Stargate universe is that, you know, all the old gods are really just space aliens, and you know they're really just Gould or in Asgard or something. All right. So why would in a Mayan temple with a Mayan religion would an Egyptian? Why would they build an Egyptian sarcophagus? Like, why does the sarcophagus have to be Egyptian?
I don't think
right. This is just a piece of.
I think the Egyptian is the Gould. Like, it has nothing to do with Egypt. It just happened. The Egyptian is what the Goulds. That's their culture and language, right?
But when later on Daniel like speaks Gould to somebody, but he doesn't speak Egyptian. I think that's actually a hell of a lot better explanation than anything I've heard.
Yes.
I think you as a consulting writer, you know?
I don't know, because the whole premise of the gods thing is that they took the religion of the local people and just kind of played that out, right? I think it makes a lot more sense if when the Gould shows up and says, "I am Ra, bow to me, you know, I am your god," and then that's how Ra became a thing. Because otherwise, Ra, the concept existed before the Gould and God and the real gods came, right?
I'm General. Are there cuffs absolutely necessary?
For, you know, a super strong.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. And if anything, this is ridiculous. What are they? What? Oh, I'm sorry about.
I mean, she's clearly, or they're clearly not under her mind control yet.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the mind control bit where she breathes the purple stuff on him, right? You know.
Right.
Why the hell is she not in like? She's just in like somebody's guest room.
Yeah.
This is the best you could do. No, seems to know that Daniel just like is out of it. That's actually a really weird setup, and I think that they could have maybe done more of that. But think about it: if you're a Gould and your human host has a human daughter, and then another Gould takes over that daughter. I mean, the Gould don't really have a concept of incest or anything like that. They probably wouldn't. They wouldn't object to having a human host who was a father and a human host, a daughter, being a wife, right? You know?
No, I guess not.
We wish to kiss it.
You can't pass that up, sir.
Why would Jack? Damn it! Do you want a foothold situation? Jack probably on the episode of Foothold. Jack probably just like invited all the aliens in and showed them all the base security. You know?
Yeah. Where does this purple stuff come from? Because if you're a regular human host, it's not like you have special gills or whatever to shoot this purple stuff out.
I mean. I guess she's been alive forever, so, you know, I mean, she could have gotten some sort of crazy space
transplant or something.
Yeah, whatever, right? I cut the ghouls a lot of slack with the glowing eye shit, and all that. I mean, it's the deep voice stuff. See, I was wondering if she was wearing anything under that. Oh, no, she is. All right. I love how Stargate Command took the time to give her like an issued jacket.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're not gonna put her in a high safe containment room, but for God's sake, cover up those tits,
If she goes around blabbing about Stargate.
Did they like not realize she? Because they're still talking like she's some
she's
random
actually
Joe off the street.
Meaning? She's a Gould, sir.
Oh,
What?
I'm just comparing this to like later seasons,
Yes.
when if some of them comes to the team and says, "I just saw this weird thing," the team is like, "All right, let's go do it. Let's do this. Let's because it's early seasons, like, what? You're crazy.
Yeah, I don't believe you at all.
I don't believe you at all."
General.
Like, oh, I feel so sad that you remember the Michello episode where Daniel Jackson goes crazy?
Hathor is
If that had happened in like season 6, they would have just, everybody, they'd be like, of course it's some alien thing,
Right.
That spiral staircase. Man, Stargate Command is not OSHA compliant or wheelchair accessible.
So you like not supposed to see this purple stuff, and it's like for the audience only.
I mean, I think so, yeah. I think you could spin it as something that was like to these people actually invisible.
Right. Because if I see this lady blowing purple stuff on me, I'd be like, "What are you doing, lady?"
She did it in like front of everybody, so
Right.
it's kind of obvious that this purple color, it's not really happening. It's just kind of there for us, right?
Right. So there are like
Together,
thousands of Jaffa,
we
right?
can defeat
Millions even, right?
Millions, probably.
And they all have to have ghouls in them, right?
Yeah, larval Gould. Yeah.
So how are they not being overrun by
What do you say?
ghouls today?
Oh, I mean, that's actually okay. So yeah, that was kind of answered in season 5 because yeah, obviously they went for like 5 seasons without even addressing the fact that every Jaffa has a larval Gould that will eventually grow up, and not all of them take host. So what happens to all the Gould, right?
Right.
Well, turns out, remember that episode where Daniel has to pretend he's a slave, I think, to you? They kind of hint what's happening. What they do is they hint what's happening is the ghouls are cannibalizing the other ghouls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're eating them. Which given the crazy evil, like alien evil nature of the Gould, I kind of think maybe would make sense. I mean, they just don't give a shit about anything except for themselves. That is the definition of a Gould.
Like nobody thinks this is odd.
See, here's the thing about like the supernatural like attraction or whatever, Okay, so the thing about the main theme about this episode is that superpowers only affect men, right?
Right.
But if this power that she has is so incredibly overriding of all your desires, of all of your free will, it makes you betray state secrets, but it can't turn you gay.
Right.
Later, Daniel Jackson gets kind of like weird Gould raped by Hathor, okay?
Right. Yeah.
And he, it's obvious that he is resisting and does not want it. She kind of forces him anyway through this mental power. So if you can force someone to willingly submit to rape, I could extend, just like, certainly it's powerful enough to make you turn gay.
Right.
So Carter should be jumping Hathor's bones too, and so should Dr.
Fraser.
What's her name? Doctor, for everybody in the base should be, the whole world should jump her bones. Nobody should be able, like,
yeah.
The one thing that's gonna stop Hathor is like is a level 70 World of Warcraft asexual neckbeard, Oh man, I would kill to see one of these Windows 95 GeoCity page. It's just like every show from the late 90s, like before the late 90s, if you wanted to give exposition, everybody went to the library.
Right,
and it was
right.
there. But then, like, in the late 90s, everybody was just like, oh, the internet can be the new library. So you have all these shows where, like, everybody goes to this, like, shitty GeoCities page and finds exactly what they need to find out.
Yes.
And it's like, it's universal, Bill. It's universal. It happens on, like, Buffy, it happens here, it happens... You know, if somebody just turned the gate on right now, this whole problem would be solved.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, is nobody watching the gate room? Like, has she really taken over the base this quickly? Jesus, we're halfway through this episode. The queen concept is so gross, because later you see a queen, and it's pretty much like the size of a human torso. So you gotta think that, like, this woman you see in front of you is mostly slimy, ghouled creature on the side that's carved out a hollow in a human.
I'm researching her right now on the net.
There's your researching right now on the net.
Around Dr. Fraser's office. Muscle tissue, some sort of Jesus thing, Tolkien, whatever.
Hathor.
Yes! I knew I was talking about
It's
her.
local on the C drive.
Netscape.net.
It's not even the internet.
Oh, what? Was it not even the internet? Was it on a...
Look at the URL.
But I bet you nobody watching that would have caught that.
No.
They would be like, it's a website. The internet.
Right, yeah, it's the internet.
See, but the thing is, the problem is that once Carter can just sort of like look up whatever she needs to on the fucking internet, what's the point of having Daniel Jackson even around?
Yeah.
Right? Because if Daniel Jackson can be replaced by a GeoCities page, you know, that really kind of damages his character.
Translations are kind of his specialty. That would be hard to do online.
Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that they managed to make Jackson work for as long as they did. Like, I'm really... Because eventually he kind of just became, like, the good everyman.
Yeah, Mr. Moral.
Mr. Moral, and he was still a good setup with Jack, you know, and he would still kind of, like... He would kind of be, like, the diplomat of the team, right?
Right.
Mostly because Jack didn't want to.
Yeah.
But, you know what? I don't understand why Carter couldn't have become the diplomat of the team.
No kidding. Because certainly in later episodes, they have no need for, like, an archaeologist.
They don't. I think when I was originally watching this, I liked Carter a whole lot because... So I have a kick about, like, strong female characters, which is sort of like characters who are also female, right? A lot of shows... Even today, right, you know, they just have women as the woman, right, you know?
Right.
There's the three white guys, there's the sassy one, there's the dark and serious one, there's the whatever, the everyman, and there's the black guy and the woman, right? If you have a 5-person ensemble.
Right.
So, I mean, seeing Carter just kind of, like, kick ass and take names in a uniform, despite all the terrible... I mean, see this? She's just doling out fucking AR-15s. You know, I like this. All right, like that. I like that.
You don't see that at all, especially in the 90s.
No, you did, especially in the exactly in the 90s. So like, as much as this episode is like kind of really weird and terrible. Because Teal'c is immune to anything.
Right.
All of the men on this
Nothing affects Teal'c.
Which becomes very convenient in
episodes. It does. One of the reasons I still really love Stargate from the very get-go was that it's still pretty on the soft hard science fiction scale. It leans towards the hard side, you know.
Right.
You can buy that maybe his Gould thing has some sort of like biofiltration process that you know, I mean, it seems Hathor has to get close enough to breathe on somebody, so it's probably a chemical absorbed through the skin, you know, that kind of thing. And the fact that they're walking around with body armor and guns. Oh, poor Daniel, post-rape. Teal'c. Okay, actually, this episode may be kind of a guilty pleasure for me because everybody's obviously acting their little hearts out, you know? Even though we're about to see a tub full we're going to see a horse trough with Hathor bathing with the Goulds. This is so ridiculous.
Why don't they just shoot her right now? Like, what are they waiting for?
And then everybody just
slowly walks in? Like, why aren't you firing your guns?
It's like a high school play. Yeah, come on, guys. The girls were just like acting up a storm over there, and you just sort of, alright, stage left, blocking here. Alright, I can do this. Oh, yes. I always loved Teal'c's permascowl.
Why is the Air Force in charge of the Stargate? That makes absolutely no sense.
Look, if Hathor's control drug is hormone-driven like I suspect, that means she's making the men the bitterness.
Why do I get the feeling I don't like where this is going?
I don't like where this is going either. Do you mean that, like, basically everybody's popping a stiffy and just sort of walking around Hathor? You know, just hoping that they'll bone?
That's a very interesting dynamic because that means that, like, think of ancient Egypt. Like, everybody wasn't just attracted to Hathor, they would be attracted to everyone.
Everyone. The one that you call Daniel. Just call him Daniel, damn it.
What does she call him?
We must.
Like, yeah, exactly. The one who you call. Well, what are you? Did you give him a new name? And it's really disconcerting if you imagine Jack just popped one right now. You know, like, I mean, I wish that libidinous line, oh no, had not been in there. Uh-oh, she's about to... Ew. Ew.
So, Jaffa evolved from humans, right? Like, all Jaffa came from...
Yeah.
Using seduction
Earth.
wasn't in any of the AI
So,
training manuals I've
who
ever read.
or how did the
What,
Goulds...
Pentagon at base,
Like,
running all
obviously,
the men
if there was no
to make
Jaffa
them
before they came
libidinous?
to Earth, how did
Yeah,
they...
exactly.
How did they raise their young?
I mean, everything else still works, so they should have had the normal human reproductive everything.
Why don't you
No,
see
like
for
the
yourself?
Gould, on the Gould side.
Oh.
Like, were there Unis
Gentlemen, there are
Jaffa running
women
around?
here.
Like, what? Before they came to Earth, obviously there was a before Earth,
Right.
and I guess they had to be like Unas hosts
Yeah.
when they first came to Earth.
Yeah.
Did they not have Jaffa before that time either?
The chronology here, right? So they were the Gould grew up on the same planet as the Unas, right?
Right.
They didn't develop space travel, right?
No, I don't think so.
So it must have been somebody who gave them power of space travel. So I mean, the Unas, I guess. How did they get into space?
I always thought that
Maybe
they
they
like.
figured it out for themselves because they're supposed to be really just super intelligent. They're just super.
I always thought they like traveled through the Stargate, figured out how to work that somehow, and like stole other people's technology.
Oh yeah, duh! Because the show is named Stargate. Hello. They would learn to use the Stargate and steal other people's technology because yeah, they're scavengers. They don't create anything.
Right.
So I think the Gould are a very effective, like, and I think they're a very well characterized villain because every kind of bad guy sort of trope that they have kind of gets explained away. What? What?
Why aren't they like opening fire on her?
Bill, did that just happen? Did we
That
just
did.
watch that?
That's it. She like reversed out of the tub.
I bet like the the first year film student who was directing this thought, oh, this is gonna be so cool when I reverse the film. It don't bother, you know, just shooting her right in the head.
Right.
She's
Like, what are
10
they waiting
feet
for?
from you. She's 10 feet away from you. Although, hang on, is this after? Wait, no, because I was thinking maybe she was assuming that she had some sort of personal shield like Apophis did. But no, because the whole point of this was that she came from Earth. Because she
Right.
doesn't have access to any of these fancy Gould gadgets. So it's
No.
just her.
Right.
It's just her and the corset came in on.
Right.
Oh, why would you do that? No! You are a doctor! You are a doctor! What? Well, good thing, because you just murdered Jack from sepsis. You stuck your dirty ass hand. You're like the hand you used to wipe your ass 8 hours ago, if you're a righty. And you just stuck it in Jack.
Without an immune system.
Well, without an immune system. You you stuck your hand in the gut of a person who has AIDS. What is wrong with you? It cures AIDS.
Why don't they, why is it like mission 1 to find one of these sarcophagus?
I know.
Well, I guess they do explain it, like, messes with your mind. But still, like, one-time use doesn't seem to have much effect. No, she just has a hand thing. You know what I don't think is needed is the whole love story between Sam and O'Neill.
Yeah, I don't think I would have minded if they had gotten together, except for the fact that it worked so fundamentally against the plot. All right, because the problem is that, you know, he's her superior officer,
right?
You know, and the Air Force is like so the, you know, this show got the rep it did because it worked with the Air Force and it got all this Air Force footage, and the Air Force people who were kind of, you know, in charge. They were Air Force people like who would look at the script.
Yeah, I know.
Right, and so like if you had a commanding officer get with one of his subordinate,
right,
you know, like that was not gonna fly.
Right.
But Air Force people, any attempt to kind of showcase this romance is always doomed to fail, because the show has to be about military people going to other planets, and there's no way that Carter would still be in the military and Jack would still in the military if they hooked up, right?
Right.
I mean, they at least couldn't do it openly, which means they couldn't do it for long. So it always did seem a kind of a weird relationship. I would have rather kind of preferred Daniel, like Carter kind of being into Daniel, but Daniel being like really messed up over the lost wife. You know?
That would make, I think, maybe more sense.
Yeah, I think that would have worked better. And that could have resolved pretty. Oh, and then she's gone. Peace out. I don't know how she knew how to operate this immensely.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's smart, but I mean, come on, you know.
Been in a tomb for 2,000 years. How does she know how to work computers?
I know.
Back down.
Plus, all this stuff probably runs on Linux.
General Hammond,
If you were taken over by a great alien and that was guiding you around by your boner, would you pretend to remember nothing? I would pretend to remember nothing. Maybe that's what's happening here. All the guys are like, I didn't remember. Did you remember it?
I didn't remember it.
When General Hammond left, the heart really kind of went out of the show.
I think that's when it started to go back downhill.
I think it went uphill later on, though.
You like the Vala episodes and all them.
I do.
Hey, did you know, I just saw this, that Daniel Jackson and Vala did an audiobook for Stargate. Like, extra stories in, like...
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I think audiobooks need more, like, cred, because, you know, I mean, it's a hell of a lot. I think I would rather be like an audiobook actor than like an actual actor, because I would like just to like talk but sit in my pajamas and not actually have to, you know, try too hard.
Like we're doing right now.
Alright, so what about
Hathor?
Hathor, yeah, Hathor.
Hathor, it was bad. I'd have to say 2 or 3. Probably leaning on the 2 side, just because, you know, like we talked about, half of it doesn't make any sense half the time.
I would say I would give it a 3. It's a terrible idea. This should have never been. This should have been written like a page 1 rewrite. like, because none of this makes any damn sense.
Right.
But it's obvious that all the actors are really trying very hard. I
To
feel
pull it together, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, it's kind of adorable in a it's our first day opening night kind of way.
Right.
So, and it kind of elevates Carter and Dr. Frasier into main cast member roles, which they don't really get to usually do. So, because I like them and I like their performance, that kind of drags it up to a 3. But it's a terrible, 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 terrible script.
This has been a presentation of Honey Sound Broadcasting, an affiliate of the Bilko Media Network.